Marc Márquez's incredible speed on the track is matched by another often unnoticed strength: his ability to read race situations, understand regulations, and develop brilliant strategies. The 2025 season clearly proves that Marquez is more than just a fast rider. He's a tactical mastermind on the bike, impressing even legends like Valentino Rossi, which strategy earned Marquez the title of the most intelligent rider in MotoGP 2025. Let's discuss it. Since the start of the 2025 season, tire pressure regulations have been a constant source of controversy in the MotoGP paddock. Dorna and Michelin implemented strict regulations requiring every rider to maintain front and rear tire pressures within certain limits in both sprint and full races. At first glance, this may seem like standard procedure. However, on the track, it's a silent trap that has tripped up many riders. In volatile race conditions, maintaining stable tire pressure is difficult, if not impossible, without careful technical strategy. The result: time penalties, disqualifications, removal of sprint results, and points deductions have hit big names. Many teams called the rules ridiculous and too technical and complicated. They argued that the rules didn't allow for natural variables like slipstream, track temperature, or aggressive duels that caused tire pressure fluctuations. But amidst this storm, one name emerged as a symbol of calm and intelligence: Marc Márquez. While other riders buckled under the pressure, both tire and mental Marquez remained consistent and collected, proving that in this new era, victory is determined not just by throttle, but by brain power. As the Brno Grand Prix sprint race began, the track temperature was unstable, tires were unpredictable, teams panicked, and riders were confused. But Marquez, he took an unexpected step. Instead of pushing for the lead from the start, he let Pedro Acosta pass him. Sounds strange. Not to Marquez. There was a greater purpose behind this maneuver: to take advantage of his position behind Acosta, to quickly warm up his front tire. Tire, in the slipstream of the bike in front, will experience a faster temperature rise. This causes the tire pressure to automatically rise and reach the legal limit. In other words, Marquez devised a strategy to ensure that his tire pressure would never exceed the limit throughout the sprint race. We've learned from previous races, tire pressure regulations can be a trap for anyone. So we focus not only on speed, but also on keeping everything within safe limits, Marquez said after the race. Thanks to this ingenious strategy, Marc Márquez avoided a potential penalty and secured a unanimous victory. The sprint race was his. But the magic didn't stop there. The next day, in a race that demanded stamina, consistency, and precision, Marquez once again proved his superiority. He repeated his dominance with an even more convincing performance. 2 wins in 2 days at the Brno circuit, absent from the MotoGP calendar for 5 years. Once again provided the stage for Marquez's glory. What Marquez and his team accomplished is clear evidence that experience, the ability to read the race, and strategic execution are far more important than simply stepping on the gas, said Ducati Lenovo manager Davide, visibly emotional in the paddock. Tardozzi couldn't hide his pride in seeing his driver perform nearly flawlessly through every corner. The 2025 season further proves one undeniable fact: speed alone is not enough to win. Due to increasingly stringent regulations, complex electronic systems, and rapidly evolving technology, drivers must think like engineers, react as quickly as computers, and maintain sharp racing instincts. Amidst all these challenges, one name stands out: Marc Márquez. He's not just fast, he's intelligent. With over a decade of experience in the premier class, Marquez knows when to attack, when to defend, and how to exploit the slightest opening in his opponent's defenses. His strategies aren't always apparent, but the results are. As long as Marquez is on the track, no other rider can feel truly safe. He always finds a way to win, even in the most difficult conditions. However, Marquez's dominance won't necessarily remain unchallenged. The MotoGP world was shocked by the big news. Topra, Razgatlioglu, the world superbike world champion, has officially signed a contract with the Yamaha MotoGP factory team for the 2026 season. Topra has long been expected to move up to MotoGP with his aggressive riding style, exceptional late-braking ability, and physical toughness. He has been touted as a younger version of Marquez. In a press conference in Istanbul, Topra confidently stated, MotoGP is my dream. I want to prove that I can compete with the best. I'm ready to challenge Marquez if all goes according to plan. The 2026 MotoGP season will feature one of the most highly anticipated matchups in the history of modern motorcycle racing. Marc Márquez versus Topra Razgatlioglu. These two track warriors have almost opposite characters and approaches. Marquez is known as a master of control and strategy. He relies on precision, careful calculation, and a wealth of experience that has led him to conquer various eras of MotoGP. On the other hand, Toprak presents himself as an aggressive gladiator. His riding style is wild and bold. He doesn't hesitate to take risks on sharp corners, leaving the audience breathless. The question now is whether this will be the most heated duel of the last decade of MotoGP, or will Marquez once again prove that experience, composure, and cunning are the ultimate, undefeatable weapons. Off the track, the spotlight isn't just on the active riders. Even the legendary Valentino Rossi is feeling uneasy now. In an exclusive interview with Italian media, Rossi couldn't hide his concern. He admitted that Marc Márquez's resurgence this season was unexpected. "I'm not going to lie. I want to be the greatest of all time. But seeing Marquez perform this strongly, I have to admit, he's not finished yet," Rossi said in a serious tone, his anxiety evident on his face. Marquez is now just one title away from Rossi's legendary record of 9 Premier-class World Championships. This number has long been considered impossible for the next generation to achieve. If Marquez continues his extraordinary performance in the 2025 season, a 9th title could become a reality. This could dethrone Rossi as the greatest icon in MotoGP history. From the opening round in Burim, Marc Márquez sent a clear message that a new era had begun and that he was at its center. It's not just about raw speed. Marquez also displays extraordinary maturity. He reads situations intelligently, waits patiently for openings, and carefully calculates every maneuver. He never seems to be in a rush, yet he's always in the right place at the perfect time. He continues collecting victory after victory, as if rewriting the MotoGP history books with his own ink. His dominance isn't just visible on paper, it's also felt in the paddock in the form of his rivals' fear and respect, even when competing on rivals' home turf, such as Mugello and Ascentu, sacred circuits for Italian fans and symbols of Pecco Bagnaia's glory. Bagnaia's glory, Marquez remains ferocious. He doesn't just defeat his opponents, he humiliates them, dominating races as if he alone knows the secrets of the track. Now, the entire MotoGP world is fixated on one big question. Will Marquez equal or surpass Valentino Rossi's legendary record? On the horizon for next season, one name is starting to attract attention. Topra Razgatlioglu. This talented rider with an aggressive style is being touted as the last hope to end the maestro's dominance. Will Topra be a true challenger? Or will he simply become the next victim in Marquez's unstoppable saga? Leave your thoughts below.